Welcome to Actual Spinster. My name is Anna Marie. Today I'm going to make a hopefully brief video talking to you about virago season, which is like a little reading project I do every Virgo season, which is 22nd of August to the 23rd of September. Pretty sure that's right. The main premise is that during Virgo season, I try to read books that were published by Virago, the publishing house, because they publish women authors. They do also have a specific like Virago Modern Classics, like women authors range of books. I don't like specifically try to read from that range, but mostly my interest is in like more historical works, so that works out for me. I do think I plan to read something maybe this year that is from like 2008 or something, so that obviously is like a more contemporary published book. Please join in if you would like to. Like I said, it's a very like low bar for entry, just read some Virago during Virgo season. And yeah, I was thinking about what I had read for the last, I don't know, 3 years that I've been doing this, maybe 4, I think 3, which I think of like these books. I think last year I read these two, which were Barbara Coleman's Who Was Changed and Who Was Dead, and Loitering with Intent by Muriel Spark. And I think the first year I read Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, which is of course excellent. And then I think maybe I didn't finish this during the Virago season, but I started maybe reading Bid Me to Live by HD. I could be wrong. And I definitely remember that I don't think I finished this either, but I definitely started the group during a really early Virago season. Maybe the first one. Honestly, I've been thinking about books like the group recently, or like wanting to find things like the group, like films and also books. So if you have any recommendations, let me know. And then yeah, at some point I read Black Narcissus, maybe 2 years ago then. Yes, so I have a few here that actually mix in with my women's press books that I have as well, but I have also taken out these ones, which I think are the ones that I am going to choose out of. Because everything is tough, we're just going to have a very low goal for myself as well, which is just to read one. But if I can read more than that, that would be lovely. I kind of did want to read last year My Cousin Rachel by Daphne du Maurier as well. I've heard really good things about it and I definitely would love to check it out. But I don't think it's going to be what I'm looking for this Virago season. Last year it was lovely. So I'm a big fan of Muriel Spark, and last year it was really lovely to read Loitering with Intent. Like, it was a really excellent novel and I enjoyed it so much, and I just think Muriel Spark is so clever and so interesting, and she writes these like acerbic but like emotionally coherent novels, and yeah, I just really love her. So I have A Far Cry from Kensington. I think then I will have read all of the Muriel Spark books that I own, but I do want to read all of her work. So yeah, but that would be nice. This is a novel also about like the writing world, about a woman who says that Hector Bartlett's writing is really terrible, and it's about what happened after that in yeah, the publishing industry. It's also of course short, which is very helpful. And of course Shorty September will also be happening, or maybe not. I think it will be, right? This is a good book for Shorty September. Another book that is also good for Shorty September is Shadow Dance by Angela Carter. This is her first novel. I got to page 2 when I started reading it last year for Virago season. I am a big fan of Angela Carter. I haven't read all of her work. I just think she's really interesting. Talked about her on my channel before. I think she's very complicated, and her work is definitely fascinating, and I don't know that it's always like, you know, something that I'm like, yeah, I agree with you. But I also really do love how she was exploring gender in a really complicated way, and was thinking about class in lots of ways as well, and the way that gender is constructed. So yeah, just would be really interested to read her first novel. I think it would be pretty tragic. I don't know, this is a review on the back. In a modern day horror story gleaming with perfect 1960s detail, she performs a double act, conjuring up just the right amount of Frankensteinian unease and perversion beneath the idiosyncratic business of relatively ordinary lives. I do also have a plan this year to try to read something from Angela Carter, although I sort of have been allowing that to not be a main priority. But if I do read this, then that would be great for that. So that's like a potential. A book I think I am going to try to read as my one for sure is this, which is Apology for the Woman Writing by Jenny Diskey. I really wanted to read this for a few years. I mean, I actually picked it up a really long time ago. but I just haven't got around to it. And then for virago season, I guess I've been like more prioritizing some of the like blue, not blue, that's not the right color, green spines, which are the like older versions of things. But yeah, this just sounds really interesting. So it's like, this is, I'm sure I've read this before, but I'm gonna say this. Like I'm gonna read out the back. So overwhelmed was Marie de Gournay by the work of French essayist and philosopher Michel de Montaigne, that when she finally met him, she stabbed herself with a hairpin until the blood ran in order to show her devotion. An awkward, obsessive character, she set herself against the world in her determination to achieve her ambitious dreams. Only her servant, Jamin, really knew her. I haven't read any Jenny Diski, but I know she's like one of the sort of women, sort of in a kind of network of like women like Doris Lessing, I think, right? It's also, I guess it must be set around the kind of time period that I'm interested in, like the early modern period, because Michel de Montaigne was from then, right? I think so. I don't know exactly his dates. I think this is going to be the one that 1645, yeah, okay. Maybe a little bit later than my era, but like still around then. So yeah, I think my plan will be, this is the goal, and then these are the kind of stretch goals depending on how I feel. I think it's probably more likely that I would pick up the Mural Spark than the Angela Carter, but you never know. You never know. And I think maybe if I am just not drawn to this, then I'll try, like I'll put it in a kind of try a chapter and read a section of it to see if it's just something that I really will never read, because it's a shame to not, even though I am interested, but I also think like, because I'm sure I'm not going to enjoy it. And I don't think it's as like fantastical as her other work yet, because this is an early one, which like obviously I love the like fantastical elements of her work. So yeah, do you see what I mean? I don't think that made any sense, but hopefully it did. Okay, that's the kind of situation and chat for today. Let me know if you're interested in participating in virago season, or if you have any virago recommendations. Otherwise, I hope you're having a lovely day, and I will talk to you when I next talk to you. Bye!